Hi, it's Tanya and Marty again, and we're going to walk you back into your Trig Moodle. If you notice, I'm already have myself set up to be logged in, so I am just going to hit login. And I am going to go to Valerie Coffee, and this is, again, what yours will look like. And what we're going to do is we're going to really quick browse you through module 1 and a few of the subcategories. So Tanya's going to talk about the first couple, and then I'm going to talk about one. So I'm going to let Tanya take over.
Okay, this first part here where it says the registration, this is only if you want to get sketches. We'll talk more about that later. But if you do want to get sketches at some point, you're going to have to register. So notice in order to get into each of these little subcategories, I just go hover over and click on. And on this side here, you will see that we're in 1 of 1. So this is just the overview and objectives of the whole T3 course. And basically what they're saying is that they're trying to approach the anytime, any place, any way, any pace learning, kind of like the blended learning or the flipping your classroom or creating tutorials for your students, which a lot of us are doing already. Eventually, what's going to happen is we take you through this as students, and Marty and I once were students, now we are coaches. So you are going through this as a student, and then you will eventually also become a coach, and they call that the Train the Trainer model. The other big objective of this class is this course is to get you familiar with the different resources that are out there. So students are ready to utilize technology in the classroom so that when they take the assessments, they're ready to go. To go back and forth from within a page, you just click these bottom arrows. Here they talk a little bit about how the assessment is to be online in 2014-15. We don't know that yet, so I'm just going to skip over that a little bit. But what we do know is the tests will be a little bit more rigorous. Or have more rigor. They are going to definitely be Common Core, and using the Next Generation Online Assessment site, which we get into later, really will help you coach your students through the grit that they're going to need to get through some of these assessments. If you scroll down, if you want to go back later, you can scroll down, and this is just a quick summary of all of the different modules. And Marty and I right now are walking you through 1. So 1 is pretty cool because you get to figure out how to use all the Google Docs and create the folders and things like that. Module 2 is just a quick overview of the Michigan standards. Again, it's going back into Common Core and talking about how next generation assessments and tests are more aligned with Common Core. Module 3 will be the big picture of next generation assessments, and I believe in here you get the opportunity to go in and take some tests and actually feel a little bit of the frustration that students will feel if they're not familiar with the tools that are available to them. So that's the one good thing about this course. 4, you learn about the different learning styles of students. It's called UDL, Universal Design of Learning. 5, creating that environment for learning. You will play around with different technology tools that you may want to learn or use in your classroom. Helping students understand technology or a deeper understanding of the testing and of the technology, integrating it. 7 is extending and applying knowledge. That one is where you actually have you kind of go in and create a real quick lesson, or if you already have one created, don't reinvent the wheel, and then you just enter it into your portfolio. And it's about technology integration and putting those practices into your classroom. 8 is the blended learning, or some of us might think of it as a flipped classroom within a classroom setting. That's how I think of blended learning. So using video tutorials to help students move ahead or to coach them through if they need a little slower pace. 9, you create your own online assessment, and 10 you collect data, and then you take that data, and then what are you going to do and how are you going to conference with your students. 9 and 10, Adam's going to walk us through that a little bit later. We have a new program called Illuminate that we'll be talking to you about at a later time, but it's going to help with these 2 modules.
I also noticed that when we did the data and collecting, you and I were kind of talking about how it was with we're kind of already used to that because we've been collecting data with for our My Blissy and our MTSS groups. So we're all have been doing that already. So this will sort of be similar to that.
Yeah, Module 10, if you go through the course, they actually have you looking at the district data, and we're not so much interested in you having to look at the district as a whole, the demographics of the district as a whole. We're more interested in the classroom or maybe even the building. So yeah, the DRA, the DIBBLs, all of that data collecting that we are already doing will come into play there with Module 10. And this is just the different people who have created the course. So it's just giving credit where credit is due. And you can see it's different people that create different modules. So as you get through them, you'll notice that they use different, what would you call them, Marty? The different tools that are in the module. All right, and so now Marty, she's going to take you through what I believe is 2. So we did module 1, and you're going through 1, 2.
Yep.
All right.
And 1, 2 is exactly what it says. It says navigating your way through this course. And if you see, you'll notice over on the right-hand side, as me being logged in, you notice I've put a picture in here. It has my email address down here, and you can play around with that later. I did while we were just sitting there during the course. So again, like Tanya said, if you hover over the blue and click on it, it will take you directly to 1, 2. So on the left-hand side, you'll notice it says navigation. And if you don't like the look of this, there's a negative sign here, and you can have that completely closed. But usually I had mine open so I could see where I was, because if you notice, it shows you exactly right here that's heavier blue. So on the left-hand side, it's going to show you all of the modules, and it's going to show you each of the subcategories within the module. And then if some of you see on the right-hand side, it shows a table of contents, and I don't really call this a table of contents. I kind of call this like subcategories. You have a module, which is module 1, and then within each module, you're going to have another chapter, and then inside that chapter, you're going to have these subheadings. So within 1, 2, it's going to show you different things to do. So you're going to see how to navigate blocks, adding blocks to your course, breadcrumbs and arrows, opening URLs. So these are just different things that you're going to be using. And the easy thing, like Tanya said, these arrows within the page, you can go back and forward. So I can go forward this way, and I can go backward to the very beginning of 1, 2. Also, there's a breadcrumb up here, and if you notice, when you hover over it, it goes from dark blue to light blue, and you can go all the way back completely to the very beginning of the modules. And if I click that, it takes me to your very front page again. And I'll just click 1-2. And if you also click these 2, anything that's blue will allow you, it's a hyperlink, and will take you directly to where you need to go. So anywhere that you see a hyperlink within it, you can click that and it'll take you to wherever it is that you are wanting to go. So the arrows back and forth and take you to the previous and the next. The breadcrumbs take you backwards and forwards.
Yeah, we were warned not to use the back button.
Yes, don't use this back button.
Make sure you use your breadcrumb trail.
Or the arrows. So
yes.
Don't use the back button here. Use either the breadcrumbs or the arrows. That's a good point, Tanya.
Well, thank you, Marty.
You're welcome. And so anything within this is just a real quick. And if you notice, at the very end of each of the subcategories or the chapters that you get, you'll see that it'll take you to the next one. So you click that and it'll automatically take you to our next video that we'll be showing you.
And what's that one? How to share?
How to share folders in the Google Drive.
Can you, Marty, for a quick second, just go back
Yep.
here so we can show them how to click the arrows or the boxes on the side when they finish each. I forgot to mention that.
So when you are done, hi, I'm not sure where I'm at right now, but I will go back into, hello.
That was weird.
I'm in the survey
Right
monkey.
there. What's that?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so I just clicked the tab. So if I go all the way back to this very beginning, which I'm not sure why it's doing that. So I'm just going to use my breadcrumb. I'm going to go back to my module. And you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, this is your module. And on the right-hand side, you will see solid boxes. And these solid boxes you can click. And it'll tell you.
I think it's not working because you already finished it, but you...
Yeah, you click this, and when you finish each one, you'll click it. Now, there's a difference because there's solid boxes, and then there are dashed boxes. And there are no dashed boxes in the very first module because it is all how fast you can get through it, and we're walking you through this. So we're going to have you at the very end of this go through and click, 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 and you'll be done with Module 1. And then we'll tell you about the dashed boxes.
Yeah, the dashed boxes are just if we have to go through and look at one of your assignments. We just look at it, and then we would go through and manually check off that you completed it.
Yep. So we're going to go on to 1-3 real quick.
Yeah.